Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com. Welcome to This Week in Prophecy. Earthquakes, big ones. Again, we generally try to focus on 7.0 or greater. We have two of those within about a 2 or 3 day period. Still got some unrest in Turkey and Trump to Iran. A message. We'll close with that one. Opening with quakes in various places, said Jesus. And this is prior to his returning, all of it discourse, for those of you who are not familiar. Part of the landscape prior to his return. And we had two big ones this week. One in Myanmar, Mandalay, Myanmar, also previously known as Burma. Mandalay is kind of right smack in the middle of Myanmar. This is a brief, I guess you'd say summary of what happened in Myanmar. 7.7 quake hit near Mandalay in Myanmar. Thousands of homes collapsed in various cities throughout the country. Strong shocks in Thailand. We're going to have some video on that. Plus multiple building collapses in Bangkok, which Bangkok's about roughly 750, 1,000 miles away from the center of this earthquake. USGS predicts 10,000 plus dead, and they had at least one aftershock of 6.4. The original tweet is where I got the framework for this information, so we'll give credit where credit is due. Click on that link if you want to see more. This guy's a journalist, independent journalist, I believe it was. And here's a map, just to give you an idea. So here we have Burma, Myanmar, and right in the middle is Mandalay. This is where the main event took place, 7.7. And then we're going to have video from Bangkok, Thailand. Again, we're probably looking at 750 to 1,000 miles-ish estimate. This was incredible. And this happened this morning, 7.1 magnitude. And by the way, we are now moving forward because of the experts and their ability to assess how strong of an earthquake was. This one was actually kind of upgraded. I've seen anywhere from 7.1 to 7.3 in Tonga. Tonga is out here east of Australia and north of New Zealand, out in the southern Pacific Ocean. 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck near Tonga. Again, that was this morning. Triggered a tsunami warning. Doesn't appear anything's happened there. A lot of folks went to the high ground in the middle of the island. No damage reports have emerged. So you can see the event that took place this morning in Tonga, and then a couple of days ago in Myanmar or Burma. And we're going to go to Volcaholic. Now, there's all kinds of stuff out there, but we're going to look at some of the video. This is just absolutely incredible. This is just like a crack or a rupture in the earth near Mandalay after 7.7 quake. I mean, this is just insane to see the size and just how quickly this can happen. And we'll get a view of that as well. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. This is like a minute 22. These guys just walked down the road, and you can see what it did, just how much it tore apart the earth. And that's a deep hole, by the way. Just eyeballing that. That's, what, 20, 30 feet maybe? You know, you get the scale of this guy. I've been in this part of the world. He's probably not 6 foot. He's probably in the neighborhood of 5'7", 5'8". So you could stack him 3 times and he wouldn't come out of that hole. Unbelievable. This is fascinating. How'd you like to be sitting here manning the booth at a phone store and this quake hits? And I think this thing lasted about a minute or so. This video is only 29 seconds. But you can see how quickly that happened. Stuff's still shaking. This is in a pool. This is in Bangkok, Thailand. How'd you like to be this guy in this pool? He's clearly at the top of a building. Talk about a bad feeling, sitting there on top of a building with that quake taking place. Water sloshing around. Not good. I wouldn't want to be up there. And it's like, where could you go? I mean, go heading downstairs. I mean, have this whole thing collapse on you. The building, that is. And here's another one. This is from, this is in Myanmar. No, actually, taken from the top of a high-rise building in Bangkok in Thailand again. So this is, again, 750 to 1,000 miles away from the main event. Again, we have some workers on top of this building. We have water sloshing around again. I think towards the tail end of this, we're going to see a building collapse. Let's just move ahead to that. Yeah, everybody's starting to point across the way. Well, it's too late. They already missed it. The building collapse. We may catch the collapse of that building in some other video as we scroll down through these. This is fascinating. Again, in Myanmar. About 30 seconds. Just watch all this happen simultaneously. You can see, wow, how much it shoves things around. Shakes things around, I guess would be a better way to state it. And, you know, these young people up here in the top left, they don't have the ability to even really balance themselves. Start shaking again. Make you a little nervous because you never know how long it's going to last. Heavy rains across Europe. Here's another video. Again, Bangkok. 7.7 will get through. Yeah, here we go. Time to get out of the pool. Look at the water just breaking that glass. Just knocking that glass off the edge. Just pushing it away. How'd you like to be on the street and you've got a wall of water and glass coming down from up above? I don't know how many stories did I think that say it was. I've seen somewhere it's at least 30, 40 stories high. Insane video. Here's at a hospital. This is in China. These little kids, little babies. Again, from the earthquake that hit in Myanmar, and they felt it in China. Video from Myanmar. Ooh, shake you right out of your chair. Yeah, I think I'll step outside. And this kid over here is hanging onto some beams. I think I'd be getting out in the middle of the street, personally. That's just me. We've seen this. Oh, this is outstanding. Pool waters pour over the side of a building. How would you like to be sitting inside of your apartment and this starts happening? And again, imagine that water dumping over. And you're on the ground. Unbelievable. Amazing some of these structures didn't break like on top and go over the side. Got some AI generated stuff. We've seen this one. Okay. We've seen this one. This is one of my favorites. This guy did live to tell about it. He was cleaning windows on the side of this building. He's lucky he didn't get caught up in that water. I mean, that would just knock you off the side of a building. Just the weight of the water coming down on you. Squeegee guy. Just minding his own business, cleaning some windows. Okay, we've seen that one. That's kind of interesting. The seismic waves across Europe from what happened in Myanmar. I guess they're not going to have that, the other one. Little tiki hut, bamboo hut. That's holding up pretty good. I'll tell you something about flexibility in a earthquake. It's strong and rigid that gets taken down, but if you got a little flexibility about yourself, you can handle some of that stuff a little better. Object lesson. I think this is a different pool. Again, this is in Bangkok, Thailand. Okay. And there is one that shows just the collapse of a building, very similar to 9/11. This is fascinating. Look what it did to some railway, some steel tracks. These were all straight. Look like spaghetti now. Crazy stuff. With that, we're going to switch to Turkey. We're going to keep an eye on Turkey. Protests continue across Turkey against President Recep Erdogan. The economy's in shambles. They're under hyperinflation. Citizens are being banned from social media, and some are being arrested for posting any kind of opposition to Erdogan and his government. It's from Steve Hanke. This guy used to be in Reagan's White House. He's a economics professor at Johns Hopkins. Has some interesting thoughts in regards to the money supply and how it correlates to inflation. Tracks pretty consistently. He's a commodities trader as well. So effectively, you get the dollar right, you're going to get a lot of things, and correlations right is pretty much the idea behind it. But this is what is taking place in Turkey in opposition to President Erdogan. He says hundreds of thousands. You got lots of people from Turkey reporting 2.2 million showed up in opposition. And as soon as they put these things up in Turkey, they get taken down or blocked, and will send people out, law enforcement agencies, and arrest some of these folks. Don't want the world seeing it, so we're going to show it. And this is from Vicegrad out of Eastern Europe is the news source for the video. So, and they're actually kind of pro-free speech and things that are taking place. As best as they can, try to report on them. So, and we're going to close with Persia, as the Bible calls it, Ezekiel 38:39, Persia, or modern-day Iran. So there's a lot of talk. Trump says he sent a letter to Khamenei. Iran says, no, we didn't receive it. Now, this is the, quote, alleged, unconfirmed letter that Trump sent to the Ayatollah Khamenei. With respect to your position and the people of Iran, I write this message to you with the aim of opening new horizons for our relations. Far from the years of conflict and misunderstandings we have witnessed in past decades, the time has come to abandon enmity and open a new chapter based on mutual cooperation and respect. Today, too, there is a historic opportunity before us. The United States, under my leadership, is ready to make a major step toward peace and easing tensions. We can work together to lift sanctions, empower the Iranian economy, and open the doors of cooperation between our countries. This is not only in the interest of our peoples, but also in the interest of stability and peace in the Middle East and the entire world. But I warn you, if you reject this outstretched hand, and if the Iranian regime chooses the path of escalation and continued support for terrorist organizations and military adventures, then our response will be decisive and swift. We will not remain idle in the face of your regime's threats to our people or our allies. Peace is not weakness. It is the choice of the strong. The Iranian people are a great people who deserve a better future, far from isolation, poverty, and suffering. If you are ready to negotiate, we are ready too. But if you persist in ignoring the demands of the world, history will record that you missed a tremendous opportunity. With respect. There you go from President Trump. Now, as that letter went out, we also had some significant movement by naval and air forces of the United States. The United States has moved a significant amount of air power to Diego Garcia Air Base in the Indian Ocean. And so I have a list below, and it's just a compilation of open source intelligence that's been gathered, which includes 3 B-2 bombers landed at Diego Garcia Air Force Base, joining 4 others that have been there for 7 years. So we've got a total of 7 B-2 stealth aircraft in Diego Garcia. 3 KC-135 refueling aircraft that took off from Guam Air Force Base also landed in Diego Garcia. 4 B-52 bombers completed a quick takeoff exercise in the last 48 hours, and all this power joins hundreds of fighter jets on 3 aircraft carriers making their way into flight range. So Diego Garcia is out here in the Indian Ocean, 3,000 miles to Iran. Even closer is Yemen, Gulf of Aden, Red Sea. Also know that that is one of Trump's objectives, is to open up the Red Sea for business and to the Suez Canal up here in Egypt to reduce the time and expense of goods going all the way around the southern part of Africa and then back up into the Western Europe and so forth. So it'd save a ton of time, fuel, money, bring down the cost of goods throughout the world. Keep in mind also that the Houthis here in Yemen are a proxy of the Iranians and are funded by the Iranians. So, pretty good little warning being sent diplomatically with a letter, and then also backing it up with action. Again, 3 aircraft carriers in the region. I don't know where they're all going to be stationed, but a ton of air power here, plus what's on the aircraft carriers. So, a lot of things happening appear to be gearing up. We'll see what happens. Under the categories earthquakes, volcanoes, Ezekiel 38:39, SEO keywords, Burma, Diego Garcia, etc. So, kind of a quiet week till the weekend, but we got some action and some things taking place. Please feel free to share with others at PaulthePoke.com. Oh, I did want to, probably people will miss out on this, gave up. Khamenei, I don't know if maybe that's his real name. Anyway, speaking Friday during prayers, Tehran issued a stark warning to the U.S. and European powers, declaring Iran will wipe them off the face of history. Okay. Slam Turkey calling its warning to Iran over involvement in Syria hypocritical, given Ankara's own clear interference in the region. That was another thing that kind of popped up. Just saw it a couple of places. Turkey's wanting to stick an Air Force base in the middle of Syria so they could be closer to Israel. Well, that's the thing. They all hate Israel. They'll come together. Well, there's your death to America, death to England chants. Hypocrites, infidels, death to Israel. There we go. I mean, think about that. That's a philosophy of life. Death to whatever. Well, it's really not a philosophy of life. It's a philosophy of death. I mean, these people disagree with them, and they want to kill you. And that's at the core of it. Why we have people in this country who can't see that and understand that, I don't get it. You know, when somebody says, we want to kill you, we should take them seriously. But we have people who don't. Oh, they don't really mean it. We can reason with these people. No, I don't think so. Anyway, I digress. So, wishing you all the best. Hope you have yourself a good weekend. Catch you as news develops or something breaks. I think we're coming up on New Year here pretty soon with spring feasts right around the corner. Talk to you later. Bye.